Hey everybody, and welcome to DGS Productions. I'm your host, D.G.S. So this video is going to be a little bit different. Usually we're talking about coverage, we're talking about player news, anything like that, but this is not going to have anything to do with players, MPO or FPO, and this is not going to have to do anything with any disc golf tournaments. This is actually going to be kind of a review and kind of an input on what's going on over with DD. Dynamic Disc recently released a series of vlogs of them going to San Diego for a couple different reasons. Number one is going to be their involvement with some local courses down there in San Diego. Two of them being Morley and the other being Sun Valley, I believe 9-hole ball golf course that was converted into disc golf and then became primarily disc golf and then ended up closing maybe a couple weeks ago. And their number two reason for being there was to talk with the bigger company, Callaway. If you know anything about ball golf, or if you've seen any ball golf products, you probably have seen the name on something. They produce golf bags, they produce golf balls, they produce golf clubs, and definitely apparel, and they're everywhere and they are huge. So this was something I was very interested to see how this went. So let's start with number two, their visit to San Diego to talk with Callaway. This was all brought about because Callaway just recently purchased OGIO, and OGIO produces the disc golf bags for a couple different disc golf companies, but especially for Dynamic Discs as of late. They do really good quality, and I believe they've been hand in hand in production with the Dynamic Disc crew. So it's nice to see that relationship really kind of mature. And so I think the guys over at DD, their main goals were probably to continue that relationship and make sure that since Callaway has now absorbed and bought OGIO, that relationship doesn't separate. And then they also mentioned bolstering that relationship and maybe getting OGIO or Callaway more into the game. They do mention that they met with OGIO and not necessarily Callaway, though they did meet at Callaway, but they did seem very positive and that promising that things could continue to develop and that OGIO is going to continue to maybe allocate a little bit more resources, a little bit more time, and kind of put them being disc golf and dynamic discs on their website, which they had not previously been there. So with the inclusion of Adidas earlier this year, and we've got Keen and Vibram, we're starting to see some bigger names kind of jump into the disc golf pool, so this is really nice to see. I wouldn't be surprised if next year OGIO is a big maybe GBO sponsor, or maybe if OGIO has their own tournament, kind of in the way we saw Adidas jump in there at the last minute for the Gentleman's Classic. Either way, more money coming into disc golf and more sponsorship coming into disc golf can only lead to greater and bigger and better things. Back to item number one though. And this I want to talk about a little bit more in length, and I want to know what you, the viewer, thinks. So DD went down to San Diego and also saw Morley Field and then a Sun Valley disc golf course which had previously closed. And the sense I got through watching these videos was that they were going to be essentially either thinking about hosting a tournament at Morley or thinking about kind of buying out or assisting Morley and then kind of rejuvenating that closed course at Sun Valley. So they would be putting money into either or both of those courses. And so I think this is a very interesting idea. I know that some companies have done this before, and some companies have their kind of home course that they put a lot of money into as well, so that way they can kind of push their own product and push their name. If this is something that companies really latch onto and they really get to the average player and then push product out to the average player because of this, I'm all for it. More money into the disc golf course is great. However, that means that since they're putting money into it, they're going to expect some money out of that. So whether that means a shop or whether that means a kind of more increased pay-to-play or a pay-to-play maybe where there wasn't a pay-to-play, that'll be something interesting and see how this sport's developed. Considering disc golf on the casual level is fairly free. Morley Field currently has a pay-to-play, but that is not something that deters that San Diego crowd, as that is one of the very few disc golf courses within San Diego. And with the prowess and the upkeep of that course, I'm really not surprised at that $5 fee. I personally really support this, but I also don't mind paying the extra $5 around or buying. I'm a big fan of yearly or monthly packages where you can just go play as many times as you want. I really love courses that do that, because then you don't have to worry about it. And I'm the kind of guy that's just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think more courses should become pay-to-plays with expectations of then better courses and more maintenance, therefore less traffic? Or would you like to see them kind of stay where they are and stay with that free-to-play kind of general park, maybe a little bit easier but not as more manicured setup? So let me know. I always like hearing from you guys in the comments below, or hit me up on Facebook as well. I'm for this. I'm for putting money into courses and expecting money to come out of those courses. Dynamic Discs is also then reaching out to California. California has a huge market for disc golf. You've got in every Played Against sports. You've got little stores here and there. You've got more bigger stores, more bigger online stores with some presence. Being OTB or Supreme Flight or Final 9 Sports, things like that, that are sole disc golf providers that are really, really great quality, really, really nice customer service. So I think DD is kind of recognizing that, you know, for California to be such a big market, that they need to kind of reach out and they need to grow their company and their name within that area to kind of get some more recognition and maybe, you know, sponsor some tournaments around here, because most everything around California is going to be legacy. California owned and operated. It's going to be Innova, which has their owned and operated in California, and then you've got DGA, which has a huge hand in California products and tournaments as well. And that's our show. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and check us out on Facebook for all your disc golf needs throughout the week. And until next round, I'm D.G.S.